So I have started recording. Okay. Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
So if you recall, we have started this chapter bearing capacity, and the last class we have discussed something about the what do you say, bearing capacity, branded bearing capacity. Okay. In the today's class, we'll focus on this Terzaghi's equation. Visible? May I continue?
Yes, sir.
So the Terzaghi's bearing capacity equation is very important. This particular topic. Okay, these 2-3 days classes are very important for you. You can expect 4-5 questions from this class. Okay, this 2-3 class from today in GATE or any competitive exams. Okay. So whenever comes into the picture of this bearing capacity, this Terzaghi, who is the father of geotech, has developed on bearing capacity equation. Okay, and this particular theory is valid for a rough footing. The previously was smooth footing, right? This quantity was valid only for footing with a perfectly smooth base, and this is valid for rough. Understand? So that's why it is very important. He has assumed that these are the false assumptions. Okay, one thing what he has assumed that the bearing capacity of a soil under strip footing. You can understand the difference between strip and the isolated footing. That means continuous footing. Okay, strip footing means continuous. And he made the following assumptions. Terzaghi, before going to his theory, he made, and this particular theory is for strip footing. You should remember that one, which is very, very important. Okay, and it is the footing base is assumed as rough, and footing is laid at a shallow depth. That means depth of the footing is less than the width of the footing, are equal. Depth of the footing is less than or equal to the B. The shear strength of the soil above the base of the footing is neglected, and the soil is replaced by a surcharge called gamma D. Suppose this is the footing. Base is rough. Okay, this is assume the rough, and this is gamma DF. DF is depth of the footing. Okay, DF is the depth of the footing. So what he says, it is above that footing is replaced by gamma DF, like a surcharge. Okay, and we are not much bothering about that one, bearing capacity or shear strength and all. The load on the footing is vertically and uniform. Okay, distributed. We assume that it is vertically and fully uniformly distributed. The footing is long, that is L by B ratio is infinite, and where B is the width and L is the length. That means it is going in this direction. Okay, so it is long. Okay, this footing is long length. This is the B, and the other side is the length. Okay, long, infinite. We assume that it is a long footing. So strip footing, okay, along the wall it is going, okay, it is along the wall. Suppose this, like this, it is going. Okay, okay, this is the cross section. I am drawing it. So, and the shear strength of the soil is governed by a Moore Coulomb's law. So shear strength is governed by a Moore Coulomb. Already we have studied Moore Coulomb's laws. So, means we have this, failure plane and all. Whatever we are talking about here is mainly because of this Coulomb's law. Okay, Coulomb's law means like that soil will fail. Okay, when it reaches and so on. So how we can derive these equations? Okay, as the base of the footing is rough, the soil in the wedge ABC immediately beneath the footing is prevented from to undergo yielding and so on. So here, just I will go in the next page. Yeah, this is our Terzaghi's bearing capacity. So this is the B. Okay, and this is the depth. This is the surcharge gamma into df. Okay, so all along. What Terzaghi says is this is the strip footing. Okay, only 3 zones would be formed when the soil fails. We are applying a load here. Load. When we try to apply a load, 3 zones are formed. 1, 2, 3. Both the side. Okay. So these 3 zones are formed. Okay. So what he says, the whatever just below the footing, this one, he says that the soil is in a elastic equilibrium. This and this wedge will act as a footing itself. This wedge will act as a footing. This wedge, okay, part of footing, and it is in an elastic equilibrium. Understand? Then second zone is radial shear zone. The soil will try to shear, and then third would be a passive zone. So these zones are very, very important. Okay, as I said, Terzaghi's bearing capacity equations are very, very important whenever you go for bearing. Because till now we have seen only basic definitions. What is the ultimate bearing capacity? What is the gross bearing capacity? What is the net bearing capacity, and so on, and net shape bearing capacity, and so on. Okay, and previously we have seen the Pandit's bearing capacity equation where base of the footing is assumed as smooth. This Terzaghi, he has assumed as the rough, and he says that 3 zones would be formed, 1, 2, 3. First is the elastic zone. The soil is in elastic state, and that particular wedge ABC would act as a part of the footing itself. Soil is so dense there that it will act as a part of the footing. Then radial shear zone. Then this particular triangle zone BDE is in a passive zone. Passive zone in the sense the wall is pushing. It's like a passive case only. We have seen a retaining wall, the way wall is trying to pushing it. Right? The wall is trying to push it. Here, what is happening is footing is trying to push it. The soil, in that case, the similar 3 zones would come into a picture. That's what it is given. Okay, in the previous pages we see. Here it is written. Okay, so this is an elastic equilibrium, a radial shear zone, and this in a logarithmic spiral. Okay, the whatever you would see the radial shear zone, no, that would be in a logarithmic spiral. Understand? So now here the loading conditions are similar to that of a retaining wall under passive pressure case. Okay, the failures occurs when the downward pressure exerted by the load on the soil adjoining the inclined surface CB and CA of the soil weight is equal to the upward pressure. The downward force are due to the Q. This is the load intensity. Okay, load Q into B here. Multiplied with the width, it will be the load. The downward forces are due to the load and the weight of the weights. Now what we are doing here is we will do downward force is equal to upward force here, like engineering mechanics. Okay, so what are the downward force here? What it says is intensity multiplied by B plus, as I said, that ABC will act as a footing, wedge of the footing. Then we should consider the weight of this particular wedge. How do we consider the weight of that one? Once you know the unit weight and the area or a volume, we can find out, okay, per 1 meter. So that's what it is given here. Okay, downward force. What are the downward force? QU are multiplied by B and the weight of the wedge. What is the weight of the wedge? It would be, just try to do it, half into base into height and a unit weight. If you do it, you will get this parameter. This is the weight of the wedge. What are the upward force? The upward forces are the vertical component of the resultant passive pressure PP and the cohesion acting along the inclined surfaces. As the resultant passive pressure is inclined at an angle of phi to the normal to the surface of the well, it is vertical. Therefore, from the equilibrium of the equation, the vertical direction. That means here this passive force PP is there, right? Will act vertical component, and this is the cohesion C. Hope you are following. Okay, so this is the cohesion. So here what it says, this wedge will make angle phi dash or phi. Okay, and the passive pressure whatever we see is PP. Okay, reverse, and this is the C, cohesion along this length. These are the reactive force, I would say. Okay, these are the reactive force. Understand what it is? First, here the intensity and the B width and the weight of the wedge, it is acting all downwards. Okay, this all downwards. Weight of the wedge also. So this is weight of the wedge plus this one would be equal to the, there will be reaction definitely. What is that reaction? Passive pressure PP. PP on the both side. Okay, 2 PP plus CC on the both side, 2C, cohesion would be there. Okay, this cohesion along with this one, that would be here 2CC into Li sin phi. What is this Li? Li is the length of the inclined surface CB. Understand? Li is the length of the inclined surface CB, which is nothing but the B by 2 by cos phi. This is the phi we know. Understand? It is, what is that? This one 2 pp plus this Li, nothing but the length. We are adding these two, 1C plus 1 more C, 2C. That's what it is given. Okay, the upward force is vertical component of the resultant passive force and the cohesion acting along the inclined surface. Okay, this cohesion also we have to add it. this cohesion also we have to add it. Assuming that this CB is the Li, then this particular both the side is added here, where Li is the length of the inclined surface CB, which can be written this way. Okay. So how we get this Li sin phi? What is this length divided by this one? Okay, b by 2. This length divided by b by 2 equal to sin phi. That's what they have done it. Okay, and finally what we will get it here when you make it again, make it small thing. You will get this one. Okay, let me. Okay, 1 minute. Okay, so what it says. What it says. So this particular equations becomes this one. Then what it says, the resultant passive pressure, whatever we are assuming this PP on the surface CB and CA both the side have three components. One component is 1, 2, 3 components. Cohesion is one component along the length. Okay, cohesion is one component only along the length. Some cohesion would be there. Okay, and find out that particular length and both the side. If you add it, you will get this one. But passive pressure, whatever you see, it depends on three components. One component is, just look at here again, I'm just zooming it. The component gamma component PP, the cohesion component and the surcharge component, which is produced by the weight of a shear zone BCDE, assuming that soil is cohesionless and neglecting the surcharge. Second one is component cohesion, which is produced by the component C dash of soil, assuming the soil as weightless gamma equals 0 and neglecting the surcharge. The component PP, which is produced by the surcharge, assuming the soil is cohesionless and the weightless. So what we are doing here, okay, if you see that one, this passive pressure, whatever which is developing a reaction, right? That reaction would be because of surcharge or because of unit weight of soil or because of the cohesion. So again it is divided into three components. Okay, one is unit weight, which is produced by the weight of the shear zone. Where is that shear zone? BCDE. This shear zone, okay, BCDE. This PP, we are talking about PP. There will be some reaction, right? This is because of this BCD, and it may be because of the surcharge also, and again it may be because of the cohesion also, vertical, right? That's what it is divided into three parts. That's what it says. So what it says, this particular component is produced by the weight of the shear zone, assuming the soil as cohesionless, assume C equal to 0, one term, neglecting surcharge both. Then component C is, which is produced by the component C dash of a soil, assuming the soil is weightless and neglecting the surcharge. And third component, what it says is, which is produced by surcharge. Okay, the three components are obtained assuming the different surfaces of failure. Okay, it will assume different surfaces of failure, although their respective failure surfaces are different from the actual failure surface developed for that one. Thus, the resultant passive, this one is taken. Okay, wait only. Now we are coming to the end. Okay, what it says, these three components, okay, are different. Assuming we will assume different failure, and it may be different for that. Assuming a different surface of the failure, although their respective failure surfaces are different from the actual failure surface. That means with the surcharge it may be different. Okay, with the positionless soil it may be unit weight it may be different, and the resultant passive PP is taken equal to the sum of the components. All the sum will be taken, and finally whatever we have this PP, right? Again, what we have done is we all three components we have added it. Understand? This is Q into B. This PP has three components plus rest of this thing is same. Now what he has done is, again he has considered the three parameters to bring down this particular equation. Now what he says, now this particular equations, this particular term can be written like this. He has written this one with NQ, sorry, N gamma, and this particular term is written taken as including NC, and this 2PP as he has written like this, which include N gamma. He has taken three parameters NC, NQ, N gamma, and he had derived this equation. Here NC, NQ, N gamma are there. Okay, that anyway we'll see what are those NC, NQ, N gamma. And finally what he says is this is the final equation. So forget about everything. If you are not followed, remember this equation. This is the bearing capacity equation. Okay, what the bearing capacity equation? Ultimate bearing capacity is equal to CNC or C dash gamma dF N gamma plus 0.5 gamma B N gamma. You may ask, sir, how to remember this one? This is one of the very important equations. Okay, forget everything how we have derived it. If you are not followed, what he has done is, in brief I will explain you again. He says the footing base is rough, and he says that there would be three shear zones, elastic and both are plastic and passive zone. So below the footing, A, B, C would act as a footing, which is in a elastic equilibrium case. What he has done is vertical force is equal to the downward force is equal to the upward force. Downward forces are intensity multiplied by B Q, okay, which is we are going to find out. Okay, and weight of the weights. Once you know the unit weight and the area, you will get the weight. Okay, which would be equal to the upward force. What are those upward force? What he says, the upward forces are passive forces, PP, which will act reverse, opposite or upward in both the side of that wedge. That's why we are taken as 2PP, and that 2PP will depend on surcharge, cohesion, and the unit weight of the side. Again, what he has done is three parameters he has taken it, and there would be a actual cohesion, the C, along the length of the wedge ABC. That both are the vertical direction, opposite are upward direction. When you make this downward is equal to upward, and when the equation becomes this one, including he has included 3 parameters here. He solved these equations and he has included, he says this particular term will be equal to this one, okay, with multiply with n gamma. This particular term he has taken as BNC BC dash NC, and this particular term he has taken as this one. So what is the NC, NQ, N gamma? These are the soil parameters which depend on the phi. So you forget everything, remember this equation. What is this equation? So how to remember this equation? If you ask me, sir, it looks big, how generally we remember this equation? I'll tell you how to remember this equation. This is one of the most important equation of a Terzaghi's bearing capacity equation, which is the most example it will ask in the gate. Many questions you can get it from this one. Okay, how to remember this equation? We are finding this ultimate bearing capacity. What you do is, one term you write it NC plus NQ plus N gamma. So these are 3 terms he has taken it. I will tell you their values. Okay, one is the cohesion C or C dash. Second is the surcharge Q naught, which is equal to gamma df. Third one is the which involves unit weight. Here gamma 0.5 gamma, okay, 0.5 gamma B is the width also, it involves width. So this equation is very, very important. Okay, one is cohesion term, one is the surcharge term, one is the unit weight term. Now, so what is these values are all about? It has done. Now, what are these NC, NQ, N gamma are? He says NC is equal to this one, NQ is equal to this one, where A is given, N gamma is equal to. So equation, Terzaghi bearing capacity equation, that previous equation is called. The bearing capacity factor NC, NQ, N gamma are dimensionless numbers. Depending upon the angle of friction, only it depends on the angle of friction. This defined by the fall. Here only angle of friction only depends. Angle of friction. This is asked in many competitive exams. Okay, it won't depend on the phi C. Okay, it won't depend. It depends on only on phi. If you substitute this NC, NQ, N gamma in this previous this one, okay. Here, if you substitute NC, NQ gamma, you should get this one. It is assumed that this equation would be equal to, he has taken the 3 terms NC, NQ and N gamma, and he has given the equation of this NC, NQ and N gamma. What are those equations? So very difficult to remember this one, but what he has given is, he has given a table for that one. It says it depends on only phi, so based on that phi, so he has given the table here. NC, NQ, N gamma. This is for general shear failure. Anyway, we'll see this general shear failure and local shear failure. NC, NQ, N gamma. It depends on the phi value. If the phi is 0, then this NC is 5.7. If the phi is 0, then NQ gamma is 1 and this will be 0. So here what is happening is, so what is that our ultimate bearing capacity equation? What did you learn in today's class? What did you learn is, What is the Terzaghi's ultimate bearing capacity equation? What is the ultimate bearing capacity equation? Terzaghi's, again I will write it here, which is more important. First, NC, NQ, N gamma. NC, NQ, N gamma. Here one NC is the cohesion term. Okay, C or C dash. This is surcharge term. What is surcharge? Gamma DF. Here it will come. Second one is the here 0.5 gamma B N cube. So finally what you will get it? Ultimate bearing capacity C dash NC plus gamma DF NQ plus 0.5 B width gamma N gamma. This is our ultimate bearing capacity equation. Terzaghi's ultimate bearing capacity equation. Now I'll ask one question to you. For a cohesive soil where the phi is equal to 0, how the equations become? What is the equations for the ultimate bearing capacity?
So there will be gamma DF, sir.
For a cohesive soil where phi is equal to 0, what is the ultimate? That means clay soil, purely clay soil, fully clay. What is equation of this ultimate bearing capacity? 5.7. NC is how much? For 0, 5.7 C dash plus gamma DF. What is NQ here? 1. This term would be 0. What is NQ here? 1. So what is the equation for, if I ask you cohesive soil? This is the equation for cohesive. This is for cohesionless, where phi term is there. 5.7 C dash plus gamma DF. What happened to NQ? NQ become 1. What happened to N gamma? N gamma becomes 0. Understand? That means for a cohesive soil, the bearing capacity doesn't depend on the width of the foundation. B. There is no B here. Very interesting. Okay, this kind of question will ask in the exam. That means for a cohesive soil, purely clay soil, where phi is equal to 0, the ultimate bearing capacity of a foundation, okay, for a clay soil, it doesn't depend on the width of the foundation. Whether you provide small or big or whatever may be, ultimate bearing capacity is only depend on the cohesion, that is C term, and the NC values 5.7. Understand? It doesn't depend on the width of the foundation. So try to understand again. You will go and read it. Okay. So today's focus was just on the ultimate bearing capacity equation derivation, and see these things. In theories, don't ask me why you got this NC, NQ, N gamma here. Okay, he has derived it. He has given some equation to us. These are the values. He says that NC would be cot phi and root all these things, a square and so on. And NQ gamma is this one, and N gamma is this. These are the he has taken the bearing capacity factors NC, NQ, N gamma. By using this bearing capacity factor, which depends on the phi value only, cohesionless parameter phi value, angle of internal friction phi only, When he substitute this one, he has given a table and he made the equation very simple. What is that equation? Very simple here. We know all the terms here. If you see C, we can find out easily. NC, NQ, N gamma, anyway he has given the table, all the value based on the phi. How do we find the phi? From our direct shear test, we can find the C and phi. Phi and this is C intercept. Okay. This is the shear load, this is the vertical load. C phi easily we can find out from the direct shear test or triaxial test or many tests we can find out this C and phi parameter, or C dash phi dash we can find out effective cohesion and the parameter. NC, NQ, N gamma he has given for us. What is left? Surcharge we know, depth of the foundation we know, unit weight of the soil we know, depth of the foundation df we know from what depth we are providing it, this foundation from here. Width of the foundation we know b, gamma of the soil we know. Then we can find out the ultimate bearing capacity of a soil. Looks interesting, right? So what he says, NC, NQ, gamma, NC, NQ, NC, NQ and N gamma, he has given the values. C phi we can find out the soil easily. Unit weight of the soil we can find out. Mass by volume unit weight easily we can find out in the laboratory. Width of the foundation already we have decided it, how much width we are trying to provide. We can find out the ultimate bearing capacity of a soil. Once you find out the ultimate bearing capacity, we can find out the net ultimate minus gamma df. Net shape divided by 3 will give the net shape bearing capacity and so on. So likewise, we can get this particular, we can, he has derived this equation based on so many assumptions and things. And if you don't remember that derivation, at least you remember this equation, very, very small equations where these three terms are there, cohesion plus unit weight and the surcharge terms are there. So these three terms will make this particular equation full. Okay, so for clay soil, for different phi values or cohesion values are given, we can find out the ultimate bearing capacity of a soil. So with that, I'll stop today. In the next class, we'll see this, what is the general shear failure and the local shear failure. Okay, so in this class, just remember that we have derived this particular equation. What is that equation? Terzaghi's bearing capacity equation. Understand? So with that, I'll stop today.